Hello, everybody. My name's Larry. My call sign in amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to your solar weather update for Monday, November 14th. This will go through Wednesday, November 16th. First, your A1A. You can see some areas around 8 o'clock on the left side of this A1A. That is going to be a sunspot group that's coming our way, most likely by Wednesday. We'll start seeing some little bit of impact from some sunspots or a sunspot region from that area coming by midweek. Also at 10 o'clock, little area there that's coming around the backside of the sun, probably not going to impact us till Wednesday or Thursday. So that's when we'll see some SFI improvement from those two areas. Backside of the sun, they're not even showing these yet on the east limb. So they're probably a couple days out before we start to see some sunspot regions coming back to help build our SFI up. By Wednesday, our SFI should start to decline. Magnetosphere view, this is the sun. If you took all the brightness away and focused only on the sunspot regions, you can see how just active the sun was 5 days ago. And we'll go through progression of seeing how these sunspot regions move from east to west on the sun on a daily basis. So these are the last few days here of solar activity of these sunspots. And you can see the giant area there, 3141, 3140, 3145, just about to slip off to the west limb of the sun. And then the SFI is going to be a drop because of that. So we'll see that most likely by Wednesday. I think we have 2 more days of good SFI because of that large sunspot region still affecting Earth. Coronal holes, 44 and 46, not really impacting Earth. We don't have a high solar wind component from this, so decent conditions there. This news here from solarham.net. AR 3140, the main focus of attention, it's been pretty active. There's been some M-class flares. There's been a lot of activity from that sunspot region. And, that's an area that, again, is coming off of the sun here this week. Most likely, at the end of that sunspot region is going to be by midweek. So these large areas here, they're talking about on the northern hemisphere of the sun, kind of near 2 o'clock. If you were to picture the sun as a clock, that would be the area that's going to be dropping off on Wednesday. We'll have lower SFIs because of that. So more information here from SolarHam. This gives us an idea of the last 3 days of solar flare detection, and we can see it's still up above that C baseline. That means stable SFIs still through Wednesday, I believe. So this is a good last 3-day look at the sun. D-layer absorption, this would be how much attenuation the D-layer is giving to our amateur radio bands today, below 10 megahertz especially. 10 is right about 2 dB, and as you head up towards the 40-meter band, about 3 to 4 dB, and of course 80 meters is way above 5 dB. Your solar indexes today, the indices, SFI 137, down 1 from yesterday. Expect this number to stay between 3 or 4 within the next couple of days. It's going to just kind of stay pretty close to that number. Smooth sunspot number is up 9 to 74. Area number is down 210 to 540. Your KP index, this is noise floors, KP2. This is very good. Nice low noise conditions on the amateur radio bands, and that's going to continue through Wednesday. I think the highest you'll receive, maybe you'll get an S2 noise floor, but nothing more than that. Maximum usable frequencies around the world, we'll take a look at just a second, but I do want to get to the QRZ conditions right now. Currently, SFI 137, sunspot number 77, A index is 7, K is 1. That's very quiet. Great conditions for you to work your shortwave or amateur radio today. 2-meter E-skip has a high maximum usable frequency today. EME moon bouncers have fair conditions, and there's your HF band conditions, and I believe, again, you'll get 10 meters. It's just too strong in the north and, heading into the mid and south latitudes, so include 10 in this. We'll take a look right now at those maximum usable frequencies, right? Current conditions from the Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map, this really spells out how far north the 10-meter band is going. It's hitting right now just south of Alaska during the mid part of the day in North America. So you're seeing 10 meters from the middle part of Alaska straight down into the southern part of Argentina and Peru. Taking a closer look at the northern hemisphere, 33 megahertz Portugal, 28 in Spain, 20 Great Britain, 18 France, 19 if you're in Italy, 16 Greece, 11 in Jerusalem, and heading towards North America. Right now in Alaska, if you're in Fairbanks, 9 megahertz, 8 in Anchorage, and look at how tightly the bands are moving north. You see 30 megahertz around Denver, and then all of a sudden you're down to the 12-meter band just above that in northwest United States, heading all the way up into Hudson Bay. So as the day progresses, Canadians, you're going to get 10 meters for sure. 32 megahertz right now, Great Lakes 32, New England 30 if you're in Washington, D.C., 32 Brownsville, 34 Pensacola, about 30 megahertz right now also in California. This is just about 25 minutes old, so you'll be on the 10-meter band in Southern California. Southern Hemisphere today, all 10 meters. Phenomenal conditions in the Southern Hemisphere. This is a great day to work North America down to South America and Europe to work into Africa tomorrow. You're going to have great conditions the next couple of days with a stable SFI. Heading towards the Far East, 9 megahertz Tokyo, 19 if you're in Brisbane, 17 right around Sydney, 14 around Victoria, 13 Tasmania, and New Zealand, both North and South Islands today should get a good look at the 10-meter band as well. Your sunspot number, solar cycle 25 conditions right now, as of October, this is where they are. The 10.7 centimeters solar flux progression, that's your SFI, has basically already hit where NOAA said it would peak here around the end of 2025. So great conditions. This is going to be an amazing sunspot season. I think the sunspot cycle will definitely get over 200 in terms of SFI. That's coming our way. If you look at sunspot numbers, we're just a little shy of the peak. 95.4 currently. They estimated, NOAA did before solar cycle 25, somewhere around 115. So we're literally about 20 points off from where they predicted the sunspot cycle to peak in terms of sunspots. We're that close, 20 points, and that's supposed to be 2.5 years from now. So great conditions. I can't emphasize enough. This is going to be an amazing solar cycle. 25 is going to deliver some amazing conditions. Your ham and shortwave forecast for today, powered by ICOM. ICOM, for the love of ham radio. SFIs to remain fairly stable through Wednesday. That means within 5 or so of where they're at today. Noise floors, great conditions. S0 to S1 to S1 and S2 at times today and through Wednesday. SFIs will start to drop on Wednesday. Voice bands north, mid, and southern hemisphere 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 for the voice bands. If you're on data modes, 30 to 10 meters will work great. North, mid, and south latitudes. Great day for CB radio skip too. 11 meters open for skip north, mid, and south latitudes. Tonight on your amateur radio bands, great noise floors to work 40, 80, and 160. S0 to S1 tonight, maybe S1 to S2 tomorrow and Wednesday, but they'll stay low. That's the main point. They will stay low through Wednesday. Nighttime, amateur radio band openings 160, 80, 60, 40, 30. Remember, your best DX is your maximum usable frequency at sunset and at sunrise. Take a good look at a maximum usable frequency map around sunset, and you're going to make some great calls just below that MUF. And make sure you're on 40 and 80 overnight. Some great conditions with low noise floors. Daytime shortwave, great SFI means great conditions when you combine it with low noise floors. We'll have both of those components through Wednesday. So some amazing DX available for our shortwave friends. Shortwave daytime bands, 131, 25, 22, and the 19-meter band. You might also hear 31 and 41 during the day. There's some good low delayer absorption going on, so possibly some 31 and 25 might be available to shortwave DXers during the daytime today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Nighttime shortwave noise floors, S0 to S2 today, and they're probably going to be more like S0 to S1 tonight. They'll stay low through Wednesday. Your nighttime shortwave 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and the 19-meter band open to the southern hemisphere approximately 90 minutes after sunset, and the signals will fade away. Great conditions for your amateur radio or shortwave bands. Some real good DXs out there. And I can't emphasize enough, 10 meters, some amazing DX. Again, sorry for the voice. Went to a football game Saturday and just shot my voice up. So I apologize. Larry was yelling a little too much at the game. I'll see you for a full amateur radio show for Ham Radio Live today. We'll talk about shortwave. We're also going to talk about the maximum usable frequencies in terms of how high does HF go. Does it really go 3 to 30, or does it go a little higher than that? We'll talk about that today, as well as give you a fun topic question. If you could only get rid of like one thing, for example, if you could only have one radio for the rest of your life, or never buy another antenna, so never buy a new radio or never buy a new antenna, which would you choose and why? We'll talk about that today on Ham Radio Live. Until then, God bless you. Thanks for watching the weather update. Get on the air and make some calls. Goodbye, everybody.